Hello and welcome back to yet another episode of Women in Society Hour, a platform that we brought to you women in different angles in this country that are contributing towards the socio-economic of this country. So today we find ourselves in where Lamin village, a place where you know that oyster production often takes place. The primary reasons why we are here today is that we've seen a lot of things happening in the market spaces where you know that oyster is being scarce in our markets. So as a result, we deem it necessary as a uh, media body to come and see how women have been struggling and also the challenges that they face in terms of oyster and their socio-economic benefit that they're getting from it. But research have shown that a lot of issues have been happening in the area of oyster production. Women have been facing challenges when it comes to harvesting oysters. As you can see me here today, I am in a boat, or can I call it a canoe, in which this woman used to go and harvest these oysters. And then as a result, they face a lot of challenges because these are boats that you know that they are not sufficient enough. And then looking at it, there are individuals that you know they help them in terms of even life jackets. So they're making their demands to both the government and other institutions that can contribute or help them to boost their economy or to boost the oyster harvestation in the Gambia. So through my interaction with some of the women, I've realized that oyster is one of the most important things that people can live and then eat in this country, because when you look at oyster, it is something that you know that it is very good to our body because it has both proteins and zinc, you know, among other seafoods. So people having it to eat is something that you know that we should all work towards preserving it. And looking at it, oyster is been scarce. Various revelations have shown to us that it is not only Gambian that are also involved in this oyster production, but rather we have individuals that you know that are not Gambian as well. Revelation have also shown that women that are into this oyster stuff are doing this thing not because of any other thing, but because they want to feed themselves, feed their family, and also contribute towards the socio-economic of this country. Because when you look at oyster, it's not basically for food. But sometimes you've seen that people even go to an extent of exporting seafoods to other people, to other country. Through my interview with one woman, she just mentioned that it is not only Gambian that are also into this oyster production, but also even the Chinese, because it was through their meeting that revelation came up that it's not only Gambian that are into this oyster production, but also this other institutions. So they're calling on people to see how best they can help in order to sustain this oyster. Because looking at it right now, we might not be able to have that high oyster in the Gambia because it is already been harvested. And then when you sit and then wait for maybe 2 or 3 years to come, we might not be able to have that good tone of oysters that we used to harvest in this country here. Because of what? A lot of people are involved in oyster production. It is not only, you know, before we can say it is only various ethnic groups that are into this oyster production, like the Manjagos and the Joral. But now when you look at the oyster industry, a lot of people are involved in it. And as a result, people are not having that economic benefit that they used to have. So this is creating a lot of gaps when it comes to the development of women in this country. Because remember, people that are only focusing on what production of oyster, and they couldn't get that enough resources in order to sustain themselves and sustain their family. They're crying here because of the fact that they are not able to get what they want because of the low production when it comes to oyster, and other people that are also involved in oyster production. So let's see. Looking at the Gambia, we all understand that Gambia is a low-income earning country, and then people often say that, and even the people that we interview here, is that if oysters production is not put into consideration and then government did not put measures in order to see how best we can have a good sustainable oyster production in this country, there will be a time that you know that we won't be able to have those oysters in the Gambia.
After school mama during weekends la.
Okay.
So kabiru mama la tpa kodota. Abuka nanu fo ngaji be ko wafiro kay mumbi ngalon. So ngaji be konsa keno. Ko nan dunta ko no wala.
Okay.
Bar may bi modol ka jele ko. Hay karante la karon bole nata nganya nyino la ko may bi karambali alo wala kudonte mo asekeno ko fanante kandela sister a karanta la fa graduate ay do ko ke karo mina ay do ko karo lay ya bula kata lo na ben akamun so do bata ni akamun so dal ka fa jot so a jibe ko ngara bato ta wole ba ha wole ba ma ko la so dunta ba kon so kan na sister no mawo nyama kon na tam fanan bolo ko sa ko man diaw mo to nyanti ka ni ta bato ta de ni ko nyoka bene ka bata batele ani nyin kulumbal ta do ni ka ben ni moy nyanta kata kat ni man kata man si kat hani do ko kulungo ne seltan na kulungo kambare yajel moni wato man si kay aka kewolti ha bara yindulan ka bata ba kele katu hani wonten kulun ko fanan kulun ko kamol batane ni kata bate mon kulun so teti tanola aning kanyin lokol nidle aning ni man firiyo fanan soto ni be nganya nyino la ke batan fati katano wa firo la le na ila nganya mambang ni firiyo tebuli nyanta do nyine la wosuto ko suto le bina nyanta la nganya kandindi la pour mon satina kanati ba ni firiyo be buli kaje ni nata na mambang ika senen kulo le ya frisco wo anytime sa wa fino wala ni ya jama woto lungo mina ni firiyo be bulu isa fris no edo mon dimbo ndieta wa fi lungo mina every time so ko keta wa ba ni firiyo tebulu ani jama woto ko isa sama maxi ka to firiyo tebulu
so akam tanga nyanye nal ya nyene ba kono nal parital ka be bondi la yalla ndi la kele
ni nga nyini lungo mina wuraru na ka sama so manda ka be ko nyim bari golle kono
okay
nga tabi nga si nga woto ta do jani ka fare 2-3 time ta ami woti train ya fenge ko firijo tebul ko sita wa fe worara marché bay ya bay ni ya mam bankay abata mu bata do fanan yela fe ngoni ni bata kunna yena ta wa firo la mam ban firi tebul ba kala dan sul ka bata ji fanan ba ke
ni mbara ba ke sun kutu ba
ha sai to fani
te do mo kumba jasile tebe la men jande ika men nyinen ka ika fen kuma bale nyinen ka mi yalon ko ali atol min ba nyinen ka ka moli nyanta lonna mi yatin na nganya sani ala ko le ata ba otumo nganya bulal mansia otumo jang tol ba ma nyolle ka nganya bu jang yo nganya bu fane ika comme ni sama do kuten yemani kato ba ni mani katul be ban foyela manol be dundi wotule kata nganya bol yo ni nganya bo fo sama sita ise nganya bo bula yeta sama do bol wala tina nganya bo ka bannu wotumo ika nganya bole fo ye nganya tu ba ko ibuka nganya bang ka bo barsai nganya bola le siata ani ndol fanga wato mina nga kumas woto mbuka nganya ba mfanan ka bole fo ni sama sita ka bole ngata sama do barsani molle siyata otumon tolle kabo barsani jolal ka ganyabo manjako le kabo balantole kabo siyo sile kata bato sila mbato nganyama so be nyin tembo min to sai ha jannin sanji sabanyato de min mabe min mabeta nganya ala ko le ala nganya banta sai
comme ya fa nyami mul siyatal mi yana ko ka nganya bo kele bari ni na rajibe ngalo na ko modol bi jamiyan ko manka Gambia noti e fana katara na bala sin ba dandan wala le ando katara demo la fol fana e ka contribute la bay fana ka nganya bo kele ba
kendeke ye kuma bala nyininka ya jete ntolunga kafoso to mika ntolunga kafoso le mi yalon ko ka fo try wo mu kafu balet ntol nyi nganya bolal nyin tambi wetland la jiokon na kafole lo nga society li wo society mu society balet ka fo le try nene tata bengola mo nyoli kuma dole complain na wo mitinoto iko nyin Chinese ol mimbe ba ko no teng iko itol amanke ko mole ya fut iko itol fangole yeje be nganya bol wolun ka fo be surprise tal mi yatin na Chinese soul wol be bakon ibe nyemutol sila ni wol murun tanan tol mi yalon kon tol mu bado lelet ikana murun ni nganya membe bakon ni tol ka de ngawo nganya abe kala nyaadi le dinding woko de wo be nyeja kal dinnet katu ya fole ntol ngenyi ka je woko be sotela nyaadi ko tol fangole yeje foye mutatam ye samba police ye nganya mimbo nata bisibu iko bare wo matina ye nganya bobula sila nin fankama be ba dole be fero la dami fankama kata da bulaje ya mira wobe kala nyaadi yalo be ko yala wode wo kunna miro be tollale ntolu wode ntol sayin sembo be bankan bar na nyindi ni wol min kata mi yalon ko wol ba try ka kon tol nga try mbanyol kan no ka nyam nyindi ni wol wolle bina batal katun tol wo jane sanyi ama sanyi sabosi nte aseke no men fonyola bar nyindi ni wol men be duma tete yalo wol me fonyo folo ni nga nyama soto problème o manna
okay problème mo natale anu ni nata jibe fanan tonya mo jamal bakanne comme ya fa nyame ba ni nata fanko fanan na jibe ngamira ay problème din soto ji fanan tol because ni nata muso jibe muso kata do ko wala na wilta nata nan amanka kaka ko wala mira baraka la family la mira ya ke mira ni mul min bebe sering so alla fanko nyim bundala ayama ay mum batada la di yalla woto
batada siyata ba o batada wol siyata ka to dimbal tiyor comme tol be min bijan tol min dimba e mo min jela dimbal le dol bijam miya ka tunte ko ngote nte ke bantal nte nyin do ma ke bantal nyi muso min belari nga ke bantal o do min belari njana ke ma bantal atele ke adingol balon atele ka adingol la karam mo jo yalo nyi mo bataleti wole yati nan tol mira ku bale be mbuli jang mi yalon ko nyi nga nyala problème o ka tun tol la balu be jan nka nyinga nyale bondi ngana dimbal danyino nga karambu jo nga lonchi di nga safuno sa hani fengo ibika landino katita landila no ni te min sambana yabe janjan dimbal bul kete bul min nyante makoy yala be kole yala ha ode woyen to mira
to nyalo ni aje nganyin kuma kan fo because ni nata jibe ni mole na be siri be kachala nake balem akonye ko nunto nka nganya soto jambakel ninga nganya soto nsa wafiroke ninga wafiroke andun somtanga nganya minta nga bondi nsa dota la nga use nga dota nga bulaje fo ni nganya comme seasonole so jani wa season do benala aka alka use la fo season nyi nana akonye saimbar ko nyi nga wubuka keno ya soto dami ka wafi walato anu ni ma wafi woto ite fan dañini nola ni sela dimbaya dañini and ni sela mul fana makoy anu ni mukula timi yalan ko sula ko mo nkay ko ni nata jibe to nyala wati but fanan ntalla jam fanan preservation of fanan problem mote ka fa ko ni jama bondi ibaland la nyame maybe watay mo mbe ka nyuma ko nyame amman siya but say mulka siya la family siyata so ni te ko nganya jama bondi pour ya lande fa sen senta la jam preservation dula mi yal ko na de nganyal bondi ten alka ma bono da ma be janna ba
aman soto nganya ma bodula aman soto
okay
nganya ma bodula aman soto foni e firijo soto o fana wo nganya ita ma bolano kata man siya ite nganya men soto inyanta nganya wafila pour ye mano sang mimbe bulita ita ma bolano pour ka foko ka reserve ate aman soto mbe yintembo min to pour ye nganya reserve wote soto lano
so sa natal be nganya bola alka dun jiolo ko na de nganya bondi jeba foy ka bo nyaadi re to fa
ngabula kulungole to
kulungo kon
ha momo tolbe membe sirija momo e be la kulungole tala ke manta jibo jale ifango muso etele be jibo jale eta bato ni tate nganya bo ni pareta nimba fate na ye jibo ja ina seina ke bu ka jiba jantoli mfango le ka jibo ja
ko dum pengeta bari biti lore kon tanga dum ba ko
iyo
ako diamo be siala le ngalo ne nyimu kulete mi yalon ko sula ko lem ando ngalo ne ko mansakunda anin other institution mi yalon ko be tarlaje kaje ko development o be sabatira nyame nyante dadu na nyinna ko do because nganyam fenet mi yalon ka kumaya batal and ala kumaya nyin soko hadama dunga jado kono akumaya tal so ku folo aka konko bondiral fula nyam fana niyata ya domo aka jada kende asabatindi balo kono ando nka sasa jama soto msafa ko nka domorlo dole do mi yalon ka ke sinna ba ni nata yim ba kono domorol jibe mi an ko ke soto do re tara fresh ring yata ya do ngam ro mu fennete mi an ko aka jata kende ya sabatende sometimes ka jele ko maybe si se mu fennete mi an ko kamil natina wolle gena ni manke fankamati comme ni stade ni mo do me ka fale manke fankamati imam balu bande nga jele ko nyildon domoro to mi an ko hada ba dum nyante domola anum fanam
nganya fong nganya e iodine sotol nganya ay iodine sotol nganya be tiata bala jato konol nganya nganya la nyenti sefo jandu fo minu be iodine sotol minu mi nganya lo wala yatina hanni nganya serte kasa yalo ne min be nganya dol ka fole janni be subosa na nganya da ko yata nyawonye nganya sa wala fesate subosa ha bare nganya bina asoto adomo bina problem o stolat katu minimi e fengo soto wolle be nganya do mala nyaato nganya bina kala ko tubabu ntolde adam baro man sakunda ni se mako ino minna ni lafta nganya kana mankin na bankoka yenyi min jete silantol modole en karandini nan tata nyin karam fo Senegal comme ye musol makoy ntolde ni man sakunda ye makoy wola comme ninga nganya botenti na banta sina nyin mu nganya mali yandole yen karandi nyin nakkan ntolle ngani sur sila ninga sisino banta be nyin jindi la bako no ibaje la ninga nyin jindi bato jari ninga nyin nganya bo na banta nganya mansot be muruna na nyine kan kotek ngata nyim bondi yalo ni mako nyin to nyin siata ni wodo e banta ni murunta nyinka nganya ko be sone yala domandi man sakunda nyanta musol mako ila nyanta musol mako ila nganya la ko anim kulun nganya ni mamul mako nganya to fuaro te nganya do boy katu ni mi nyinga nya poto ni ta keta keme ite dasi keme killing bebo
do ko
andi nyanta tulo sanna wo kemo ko ne nyanta jabo san iko poto keme iba sanna yo mi alon ka te sembo soto woyena ay poti tansan amma mulu nya ko to fen ite salafika san ima sanno yalo wobe ko yala o te nyanta musol mako ila nganya la kuto ye nyim projet o sambala ye musol mako nyen na nyin ni nyin siata tumando bato abisone yala
mbadingol comme aliyamu e diyamulal la ñami ko cokolo ka diya wolo la fonda kono ngajere ko musul ka batada min taki wala fo jang andu ngamanka ko mule ya dungi da kono e fongol le ya fo nganyama kulete mi yanon ko kumayata balo kono nimol ngalon ka e kumaya min soto ngalo ne mbajele ko mba preserve la ñami andum fanam be mul fanam ma ko la ñami yanon ko e ba a programme e ba a production o nyina so mbafla mul be ko baraka. So before we leave of you, we just thank you all for watching, and just to remind you all that this is Women in Society Hour, where we brought to you women from different faces that are contributing towards the economy of this country. And today we're talking about oyster production and its socio-economic benefit to the Gambia.